If you're listening to this video, you are in Mrs. Lewis's physical science class, and you are group 2 for chapter 11. You're working on section 2, and your topic is human health and radiation frequency. Because of the length of this project, this group will have 4 people in the group, and it will take all 4 of you. Your presentation will be about 5 to 10 minutes long to the class of your peers. So let's talk about it. We are bombarded with radiation every day, from the radiation of our sun to x-rays at doctors' and dentists' offices. We are surrounded by various sources of electromagnetic radiation. When the properties of the radiation are known and the effects on human skin are determined, effective strategies of use and protection from these frequencies can develop. So your task is to research and analyze a variety of different electromagnetic frequencies and their effects on the human skin. You will also be asked to discuss the validity of the sources used in gathering the information. Research this topic with a group of 4 students. Once you have finished your research, your group will present your findings to the class. Be sure to use multiple sources, minimum of 3 required, to be able to properly assess the validity and reliability of the information presented. A process is an area that you will be graded heavily on. Because you will be graded heavily on the process, make sure you follow these steps. So the first step, what are the sources and effects on the human skin of infrared radiation? Number 2, what are the effects of UV radiation from the sun when it is absorbed by the skin? What does SPF mean and how is it determined? Does an SPF 30 product offer double the protection of an SPF 15 product? Investigate an SPF product website and discuss the validity of the claims made on this site for products higher than SPF 45. Do you agree with these claims? Explain why or why not. What are the effects of gamma radiation on cells, and how is gamma radiation used in medicine? Research a cancer treatment center website and research their approach to gamma radiation treatment. How valid and realistic is their explanation of the safety of their techniques? Do they accurately portray the benefits and dangers of the treatment? Once you and your team have completed your research, prepare a 5 to 10 minute presentation. The presentation should discuss the effects different frequencies of radiation have on human tissue. You will also need to comment on the validity and the reliability of the information that you gathered as you were doing your research. Be sure to outline your findings on the validity and reliability of the information you gathered. So you can do this in different ways. You could do this in a skit, like in a play. You could make a video like this one, or you can make a slideshow presentation. Resources. Many resources can be used to assist your research. These include journal articles, trade books, websites, and scientific news and magazines, which can all be found online. You might also visit a university, science museum, or laboratory, or interview an expert in your field. Now that last sentence might be impossible for you, but only to a point. You have this thing called the World Wide Web. Look up a different university or a science museum. Perhaps email a professor at Mac and find out what they have to say. The evaluation of your task will be graded by me in 3 different areas: the task, the process, and the presentation. And in this rubric, we're going to move up from least amount of points to the most amount of points. You have 45 points available to you from this rubric. The tasks were not completed. Some effort was made to complete the task, but the major ideas are missing. The tasks were completed, but some of the information was omitted or incorrect. The tasks were completed with great attention to detail. The process was not followed. The process was begun, but not all questions were answered or answered completely. The process was followed, but some answers were incorrect. The project showed through thorough research and a deep understanding of the topic. There was no attempt to create a presentation. There was minimal effort making the presentation. There was good material and ideas in the presentation. The presentation was excellent and showed the knowledge of the topic. In addition to the 45 points that you'll be scored on, you will be scoring yourself as well as the rest of your team members, and I will be taking an average of that score. Here are the categories: contribution to group goals, consideration of others, contribution of knowledge, working and sharing with others. Contribution of group goals. You're consistently and actively working towards group goals, willingly accepts and fulfills individual role within the group. You show sensitivity to the feelings and learning needs of others, values the knowledge and opinion and skills of all group members. You consistently and actively contribute knowledge, opinions, and skills without prompting or reminding. You help the group identify necessary changes and encourage group action for change. You do the assigned work without reminders. This is top scores. One step down, works toward group goals without occasional prompting, accepts and fulfills individual roles within the group, shows and expresses sensitivity to the feelings of others, encourages the participation of others, contributes knowledge, opinions, and skills without prompting or reminding, willingly participates in needed changes, usually does the assigned work, and rarely needs reminding. On the lower end of the grade, probably around the D range, would be works towards group goals with occasional prompting, shows sensitivity to the feelings of others, contributes information to the group with occasional prompting and reminding, participates in needed changes with occasional prompting, often needs reminding to do assigned work. And at the bottom, works towards group goals only when prompted, needs occasional reminders to be sensitive to the feelings of others, contributes information to the group only when prompted, and participates in needed changes when prompted and encouraged. Always or often relies on others to do the work for you. So just in closing, you will be turning in notes to me that I can see that you have followed the process. I can see who your resources were, anybody you contacted via email, any university websites, etc. I'm going to be evaluating all of that information, and that will be part of your 45 points. You will have 1 week, 5 days to have this assignment ready before presenting it to the class.